You're listening to Evergreen Media Network. I am Cindy Schwartz, and this is the Patient Partner Show. It's a podcast. We're on iHeart Talk Radio or on iHeart Radio, so thank you for listening to us. Jeannie Roller is my co-host. Jeannie Roller, you are in Indiana. I am in Florida. And we're trying to navigate this healthcare system. I mean, I don't know if we're doing a good job or not, Jeannie. We're both still sitting here alive, though, so something's working, I guess. And then these podcasts are, and these shows are our opinions, and just from research and different navigation that we've done and tried to educate ourselves, and hopefully some of the answers that we've gotten or we've come across helps other people, which is really why we started doing this, Jeannie, because we could not believe, neither you or I, the stuff that we stumbled on and were coerced and were, that happened to us, that we could not believe that this was now labeled the healthcare arena, and that's welcome to the situation. But I personally have found tons of doctors that are just fabulous. I want to give kudos to them and the nurses that have to navigate these systems as well and try to give good care at the same time, and just phenomenal people. I've found so many of them, so kudos to them. We're just trying to out the ones that aren't given the good care and trying to out the situations that we just find appalling, and why people would have to not tolerate it, that's not the right word, but subjected to that kind of really bad treatment. It's horrendous, some of the stuff that we hear. And a lot of the people that you and I come in contact with, Jeannie, through email and through different avenues, they don't want to come on the show because they don't want to give their name. They're embarrassed. They're just so mad. They go on and on about, why did that have to happen to them? And we agree with that. And we are also behind the scenes in different groups of people. This is all over the United States, all over the world, talking the same talk, why we're paying this much money for really poor health care and why it can't be figured out. So on this podcast, we want to talk about the lack of doctors. You came upon an article that was talking about that, and it gave a percentage of different types of doctors, different specialties. There didn't seemingly were enough of those in that area. And another addendum to that is how they want to solve the problem, they being the powers that be, whoever they are calling the shots, solve the problem with bringing in out-of-country doctors. And, do we know what their schooling is? And it's no knock. I wouldn't know what someone, in a certain country how they were schooled. And certainly I have used in my lifetime doctors that have come from other countries, and I've gotten fabulous care. And I've used some of them that I got just horrible care, and I didn't stay. And that's my thing. I just leave. Tell them I'm not going to do this, and I'm going to leave, because it just feels better for me if I get a care from somewhere else. So let's talk about that, Judy.
Okay. Well, Cindy, it seems like the specialty doctors, like an OB/GYN, they have the highest wait time to get in to see them. It's went up like 33% from 2022, and it has risen overall 79% since 2004. So, but when you think about OB/GYN, they, for one thing, they are the specialty that gets sued a lot.
Yeah.
Because of complications of birth.
Yeah.
And their malpractice is high.
Mm-hmm.
Their malpractice insurance rates are high.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it has become a thing that less and less men is going into that field, and more women. It's flip-flopped in the last, probably 30 years.
Yeah.
More women now are those doctors. So
yeah.
I think probably there are less going into that specialty. Cardiology is another one that has went up a lot. The wait time in order to see them has went up. It's like, talking about my mother again, she sees a cardiologist. For the life of me, I don't know why. Because in fact, last time I asked him outright, why is she here to see you? When you say that she's healthy as a horse, there's nothing wrong. So why are you seeing her?
Yeah. Sometimes they want, sometimes they want, not to interrupt you, when you get older, and I've heard this from doctors, sometimes they want a basis line of what your normalcy is, so that when something goes wrong, which seemingly, you're going to assume something is going to go wrong with someone that's in their 80s, 90s, or whatever, and that's not always valid. Mm-hmm. We know it's not always valid, but that way they have a baseline to compare it to do some kind of treatment or whatever. I've heard that from doctors, so I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. And the other one is family medicine or a family practitioner. And, those doctors, I was told by one that he thinks he's the lowest doctor on the totem pole, that everyone above him thought they were better, like the cardiologist, the neurologist, he said to me, I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. Oh. And, they work, a lot of them work very hard to diagnose, to send everyone to the right specialty person.
Right, yeah.
And a lot of people aren't going into family medicine because they get the least pay on the scale of doctors' pay.
Yeah.
So
sad.
No one wants to work harder and make less.
Yeah, well, it is sad. But I mean, I'm here to say, for my own experience, a good GP doctor, primary care doctor, whatever you want to label them, if they're they spend the most time with you, supposedly, okay, or are supposed to spend the most time with you because they're there at your ready, at the ready. If they're a good diagnostician and they listen, which intently they do, they can figure the stuff out before they ever get to a specialist. I mean, I think in my day and age, not to date myself, but their specialty is more of a newer avenue than it used to be.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. I mean, that one person can't know anything, but do we push to specialists more often than we need to? We talked about it on another podcast. I mean, do you always have to have a doctor to fix this so-and-so problem? Can it be something else that's out there available? Another treatment, another avenue? Well, is it always the doctor? So, I mean, that factors into, are doctors available? There are more people on the planet, certainly, than there used to be.
Yeah. Well, I think with family practice doctors, now insurance companies are pushing them to see more and more people and to get them to recommend specialists more and more. Mm-hmm. I've heard several people talk about their family doctors saying, no, I can't look at that anymore. I'll have to schedule you with this specialty doctor.
Yeah. Okay.
And so on and so forth. So, it's that thing going back to the high cost of insurance. When there's being more money being spent, being made, that probably doesn't need to be that way. If the family doctor could fix it, then let them, instead of referring it on and costing more and more and more. That, to me, doesn't make sense. So I think that's part of it. Go ahead.
Well, there's another thing, too, is why can't you go see your family doctor and get an appointment when that office, if you call up for an appointment, and I've had people tell me this, the office automatically sends them to one of those Insta clinics.
Yeah.
So why can't you go to, what would be your primary care doctor's situation then, that you couldn't go see that doctor? They're too busy now, too, to see you for what would be a normal thing that you'd see a primary care doctor for, but yet they're pushing you to go to one of those, medical clinics. I don't understand that either. And then it's going to be more money. Yeah. If your insurance is even accepted at those clinics. A lot of them, it isn't. So the whole thing, it's a conundrum. The whole thing is a conundrum. And, if they're overworked, and there's other facility, what am I trying to say, networks that seem to be the forefront of some of this stuff, where they're charging you to use their offices, they're charging you to use their CT machines, they're charging you to use their MRI machines. Where is all this coming from? It used to always be that was part. If you go to a doctor's visit, just for argument's sake, and it's $100, to me, that would be inclusive of the doctor, the office, whatever nurse he has, whatever medical assistant they have now, those kind of things. But it's not any longer. It's everything's going to be coded, and that's what people have made fun of, too. So on that note, our lack of doctors, the problem, what is the problem and how do you get to honestly get decent health care in this day and age for the money that we seemingly are paying for all of this stuff. Stay listening to Evergreen Media Network.